But that's nice.
Okay. All right, guys. So I decided tonight I wanted to focus in on messenger chat parties because this month I did 2 messenger chat parties and I got 5 bookings for May from those parties. And I got 11 new customers. And I just really love it. It's fast, it's simple, and it's easy. So in the notes, I have a whole layout for you guys, and I'm going to talk about like start to finish. What did I do to get parties booked? What did I include in the parties? Hostess coaching, like all the things. And I've been sick, so hopefully my voice doesn't, stop working or something. But this is a great way to keep meeting new people, super fun and easy. I think a lot of people are like tired of groups for parties. Um, so this is a great way to just have a quick 30-minute party and meet new people, build relationships, get repeat customers, get new recruits. And the goal is not necessarily to like run a party, but create like a fun space to build connection, get people engaged, and make it easy for people to shop. So, first step is getting the bookings. And I want to challenge you guys to do at least one messenger chat party in May. Okay. So getting the bookings is easy. You don't have to like over explain or overwhelm. I actually started it as a messenger chat party through my like customers first. So I didn't even think to include that one in my parties that I did this month. And then I got bookings from that. So you could start out that way, start out with your customers, a small little group, and get bookings from there, or you could just start messaging people. But I would reach out to customers, whether they're new customers or repeats, engaged followers, anybody that has shown interest. These are all people that we could reach out to personally. And like I rarely have luck just making a post and getting people message me and say, yeah, I want to do an event. I have to get in Messenger and actually message these people. So that list of customers and prospects and your list that you've been writing out and adding people to when you meet new people and new connections, when people have engaged, right? We all have our running list, I hope, of those people. Those are the people that you're going to reach out to first. And focus on the benefit. They get free products. It's super fun and low effort. I think that that's an important emphasis, is that it's way easy. It's one night, done and over, 30 minutes. So it's not like 3 or 5 days of a whole group to run. It's so much easier to manage than group parties. And you can keep it casual and conversational. And it's really only about 10 posts. So super easy to like plan for. Remember too, when we're messaging people, that simple messages get responses. If we over explain, that kills your momentum and people are going to check out and just not even read what you wrote. Like if what you wrote takes up the whole screen, most likely people are not going to keep reading. Let me let somebody else in here. Hi, Nicole. Is she in? There she is. Hi, Nicole. We're talking about messenger parties. I was just saying that I did 3 parties this month. I started one party with like my current customers, and then I got 2 bookings from that. And then from those, I got 5 more bookings for May. And I was talking about how fast and easy these are. So we just started talking about getting somebody booked for it. So like I said, I would start out with your current customers, do it with those people first, and then go from there. I didn't include any scripts in this in these notes, but I can add some scripts if you guys want me to add scripts. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to make myself a note to add scripts because I don't know why I forgot about that. I've had a crazy week, you guys, with my math test. And then it put me like totally behind on everything I had going on in my life. But I passed. So woo, that was a lot, you guys. It was so stressful. Oh, somebody else is coming in. Okay. So, and I would love if everybody commits to just getting one messenger chat party booked this month. Hi, Amanda. Tonight we're talking about messenger chat parties, and I just barely got started. So I was telling everybody how I started one messenger chat party with my current customers and anybody that seemed interested in products. Anybody that's like engaged, those were the people that I reached out to. I ended up with a group chat of about 15, maybe 20 people. I don't remember. And then of course, not everybody actually engaged, but I did get 2 bookings from that. And then from those parties that I did, I got 5 more bookings. So it's super fast and easy. I love it. I love the simplicity of it. You can do it in one night, 30 minutes, and it's done. Okay. So reaching out to people first to get your bookings. From there, what's important is having a good host coaching system, because the better the host, the better your results are going to be. But a lot of time hosts don't know what to do if we don't guide them and lead them. So once somebody says yes, I send them a little link that I'll add in here too. I'll add in my host link also. But on the link, I have them send me their wish list, because then I get them thinking about what do they want to get for free. And I'm just utilizing our like referral program through our company, right? And that's where they're getting the freebies. Although I do send a little gift once they hit 150 in sales. I also send them something too. But that's optional. So I get their wish list from them. So I get them thinking about what they're interested in. And that also helps me know what types of things to share in the event. I get their email, their phone number, and their mailing address so that I can easily have all their information ready to go when I'm reconnecting with them, sending them a reminder, all of that stuff. I love having everything in one spot. And my form is digital, which I love because I can always look back at it later too, maybe like 6 months down the road when I'm going to look for new hosts again or whatever. I kind of cycle back to that. Whoever hosted with me before probably will host again. So I like having it digital because for that reason. And then I make sure that on that link, they also send me their referral link so that I can be sharing that in the chat. And by, again, having it digitally for me, it just makes my life easier if I have that all in one. So I'll make sure and include a copy so you guys can see my form that I use. I just use JotForm, and JotForm is free. You can have up to 3 forms on JotForm, or maybe it's 5 for free. So I just use that for free, and it's super easy. And then it keeps everything organized, right, in one place. So then let's get into the hosted coaching. So my host, I let them know right away, this is the date we're going to do the event. Expect on about 30 minutes. I'm going to be in contact 3 days before the event, right? So they know when they're going to hear from me again. And then 3 days prior, I start setting up expectations clearly, and I give them like a little list of these are the things you're going to do. I ask them to make an invite list and to send personal messages. And I really emphasize, do not add people to a group chat without their permission, because people hate that. And then they're going to start leaving the chat. And when people start leaving the chat, suddenly everybody starts leaving. So I really emphasize that to them, that we're not just going to make a group chat and add everybody you know. We're only going to add people that gave us permission. And then I have them make the group chat. If I don't make it, I have them make it. And here's why. If they don't go to the effort of these simple tasks that I'm giving them, most likely they're not going to actually be successful anyways, because they're not going to put in their side of the effort. So I have them create the group chat and add their friends that said yes. Then I ask her to, when she has the group chat set up, I ask her to make the first message in the chat. Tell them why she decided to do the event, or maybe why she loves the products. And then I let her know, and then I'm going to introduce myself after that. And I wait until they do. And if she needs a reminder, I'll send a reminder. But I like doing this 3 days in advance because it gives them plenty of time to do that, right? And then that way I can also remind her, you know, and then I ask her to start posting on her wall for the next 3 days, post what she loves about the products, start building curiosity. She doesn't need to say she's having a party, but like, hey, I love this product and that product or whatever, because I let her know that that generates curiosity. And anybody that seems curious, those are more people to add to her list to personally invite by private message, right? Okay. And most parties will fail if the host feels clueless. And I've also found that if I don't give this 3-day buffer, if I only do it the day of or the day before, it doesn't turn out successful. So I found this 3 days before is like a good sweet spot where it's not too much time, but it's enough time for them to just send some messages and get the chat set up. Okay. I already talked about no spamming. Okay. So then, setting up the chat, when I do my first message, and I'll do it as soon as she sent her intro message, then I send mine. And I keep everything organized on my Boards app. So anybody that's using Boards, it is super easy to use for messenger chats, because if you've been using Boards at all, you know, all you have to do is click on your picture or click on your caption and it goes straight into the chat. So I love Boards for chat and keeping all my stuff organized. But if you're not using Boards, and you can have one free board, by the way, and you could make another email and get another board set up. If you already have like your one free board, that's what I would do. Most of us have multiple emails. But I think it's so much easier to have boards for this. So I highly recommend it. But you could also, one thing I've done is I make a fake chat with me, and then I have a fake profile in case my account ever gets suspended or restricted for some reason. And I do it with just me in that fake account, because to make a group chat, you have to have at least you and then one other person, I think, or maybe it's two. I don't know. I know that I've tried it this way too before. And then I put it all in that fake chat, and then I can just copy and paste and pull from that. That's what I was doing like before I was using Boards. Or you could have it on a Google Doc, like whatever works for you, but I just can't emphasize enough, like Boards honestly makes it so easy. So I definitely recommend having it in Boards. So anyways, I digress. So I introduced myself in that first post, just really quick, like, hey, my name's Wynn, and I'm super excited to share, you know, blah, blah, blah with you guys. And then I tell them the party time and date, and then it's only going to be like 30 minutes. And then I also start off with an early bird incentive. So I'll have like a set amount, like spend $50. And you get this or that for free from me. So if it was pharmacy, I love sending sheet masks for free because I can get 10 at a time, super affordable, and they ship in an envelope. So I don't have to pay for like shipping. With Clio, I just do a free nail set. And then I keep it short and sweet again, because if it's too long and it takes up the whole screen, nobody's going to read it. So try to keep it short and sweet. And then don't try to not like fully start popping off the chat then and there. I know sometimes it's hard. If people are engaging already and already asking questions, yes, definitely. I respond, of course, and I send more information, but I try not overwhelming people right off the bat, because I want it to feel easy is the key to this. And I think that's why it's been successful, is how easy it is. And then from there, like the day before the actual event is scheduled to start, I friend request everyone in the chat, and I message them individually, and I just let them know, hey, I'm excited for our chat tomorrow. And then this is the time. Don't miss out on the early bird special, right? Check it out if you didn't see the early bird special. And then I'll ask them a question to try to start getting conversation going. So if it's pharmacy, I say something like, are you most interested in skincare, makeup, or health and wellness? And I like asking that too, because that also helps me gauge what to share in the chat and what to focus on. If nobody says makeup, I'm probably not going to share much about makeup, right? For Cleo, I ask them, are you most interested in instant gratification press-ons, or maybe growing your nails out with LED gel strips? So I kind of also am setting the tone and letting people know kind of what it's going to be all about also. And not everybody responds, and not everybody accepts my friend request, and that's fine. But the people that do, I'm going to love on them, right? And I'm going to check out their page and their profile. I'm going to see if we have anything in common, and I'll pop back in and be like, oh my gosh, I love your page. It's full of so much positivity. I feel like we would be besties in real life, you know, or whatever. Your dog is so cute, or you know what I mean? Just like kind of start building a connection if I can. And then, and the other reason I think this is important is because then when you follow up after the event, it's not going to feel like a spam message, right? Like talking to them beforehand, kind of getting to know them, opening up the conversation makes it easier to transition into closing the deal, right? At the end. And a lot of people might have questions, but they're not going to really come to you for them unless you've already opened up the communication. So I think that's another reason to like open up the communication right away as soon as you can. Okay. And then from there, I send reminders in the group chat. So I send a reminder an hour before, and then 30 minutes before, and then 5 minutes before. So I kind of leave the chat quiet until right up, you know, it's getting ready to start, unless people are talking and asking questions. I let people know too in the reminder message. In like the first one, I say, hey, if notifications overwhelm you, feel free to mute the chat, because this is going to be rapid fire. And then you can just pop in. Because you also don't want to turn people off if like maybe during chat time they're making dinner and they get annoyed or whatever, you know. I give them that permission. It's okay to mute the chat and then check in later. And then let's talk about the actual party. So I like to plan out like 30 minutes for the actual party. So what that looks like is about 10 to 15 posts. So really easy to manage. So kind of ahead of time though, you want to be organized and planned out and know what posts you're going to do. And I have a template for both Clio in boards and pharmacy in boards. So if that's something you guys want to see what it looks like, I can send that to you guys. Or actually, I'm going to add another note to add my templates into these notes, and I'm going to post these notes with the video. Okay. So I'll make sure and add those so you guys can get an idea. So what I do is once I send that first post of the night, and usually I'll start off with just something engaging, like what's for dinner tonight, or whatever. Um, and just to kind of like get people warmed up. And then on my phone, I turn on my timer to go off in 2 minutes. And then I just keep hitting restart. So that way it keeps me it keeps me on time. I want to make sure that I value everybody's time and not run it into like an hour long accidentally. So that keeps me like on my target of 30 minutes. And try to avoid long gaps. If I start seeing I sent a post and everybody's really quick right away commenting, and then it's kind of silence, but it's not been the 2 minutes, I'll go to the next post too. Okay, so here's some ideas of things to mix in. Your favorite products, benefits, and simple education. And I highly recommend you're not just posting like graphics from the company, but pull out like your B-roll and your content that you've already created. Use that stuff, right? If you have, or if you don't have anything yet, I would, while you're planning this out, because we're all going to do one in the month of May, right? While you're planning it out, sit down and think about what are your 10 posts that you want to do, and make content for those. And then you have that content you can keep reusing over and over. It could be as simple as like one of my favorite content that I like to reuse is me washing my face with the micellar water and then washing my makeup brushes, right? Like that's a great idea. So I love to reuse content I've already made, or make some new fresh content. And then make sure to show your personality, try to keep it light and conversational, keep it enjoyable, throw in some fun and show yourself and your personality. And then I do like to throw in some engagement stuff too. So like some this or that. Everybody loves this or that. And if you're good at Canva, you could even do a this or that where it's like they can do thumbs up emoji or a heart emoji right on the photo, right? So it's like super easy for them to just like press and hold for their response on this or that. But you don't have to. You could just show 2 different colors of blush or whatever, and this or that. Which one do you prefer? And I use ChatGTP to like build pretty much my whole templates too. I'm just gonna be honest. And I change it up and stuff, but it's quick. ChatGTP can help me build a whole party template in minutes, right? And also I like to throw in at least 2 posts, 1 or 2 posts that are just like not about the products at all. So like my event that I just did Sunday night, one of the ones that was really popular was make a mom hashtag, like hashtag why did you eat that, or like what I mean, like stuff that you say to your kids, get that out of your mouth. I don't know, like a baby toddler, I'm thinking, so something fun. Do add in at least one like fun kind of random thing. I like to throw that in right in the middle, just to break it up a little bit. And then closing the party, I explain how to order. I talk about any current deals that we have going on. I let them know that they could host. And I also let them know about the opportunity. We've got opportunity calls on Thursday. I'd love to invite you. A quick little video of you talking about what the business has done for you is great, or like why you love it, or that it helped you pay for groceries last week or whatever. It could be anything big or small. You never know who's kind of looking for something out there. So make sure to bring that up at some point near the end. And then I do a point system for my giveaway. So I let them know also at the end. I remind them. And my first intro post also tells people how to like win the giveaway. But I tell them they get 1 point just for being in the Manny chat and engaging. They get 5 points for joining my VIP if you have a VIP, or like follow me on TikTok or friend request me. You could make that anything, but I like to have at least one thing that's worth more points where they're going to keep following you. And then I do 5 times points for hosting. So I really like to like boost up hosting. And then I do 1 point for every $10 spent. So that's nice because people can really like rack up the points, and I'll do like a sneak peek of what the giveaway is going to be. So if it's a face mask, I might end with a video of me before and after using my face mask or something, right? Okay. And you could do whatever you want for a giveaway. It's totally up to you. And then I like to end with a booking game. So I've shared some booking games in like our teen group, and I need to make one for pharmacy. I'm going to mark that. I'll make a booking game for pharmacy, tomorrow. But what a booking game is it's one of those things where it's like, pick a number and I'm going to tell you your prize, right? And then I message them and I say, hey, I'm so excited to share your prize with you. But before I do, I wanted to offer you your own Manny chat. So you can get 10 bonus points or 5 times points. I have next weekend, same time, or the following weekend, what works better. Usually I do it 2 weeks out though. I start 2 weeks out. That way people have a chance to get their products in case they haven't tried anything yet. So that way they know like they're going to have time to try out whatever they buy. But the key there is I don't just say, do you want to book a party? I'm like, I have this day or I have that day available. What works better? And I don't know what it is, but that's like the magic verbiage. And you'll get quite a few people that will be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do whatever date. And then I send them their prize, and usually it's like some sort of free gift with a certain dollar amount of an order. And I let them know this deal ends in 24 hours. So it kind of creates a little bit of urgency for them to like actually go on the website and shop. And then, okay, so end of the booking game. Okay, from there, over the next 2 days, I was at first only giving 24 hours for people to earn points and catch up, but I actually found 48 hours seemed to be a little bit better because people get busy. Maybe that night they weren't able to shop. Maybe they needed time to think about it or whatever. So I feel like the 48-hour window, it has worked better. But if you give too long, people aren't going to take the actual plunge, right? So you do want to kind of keep it in a time frame. And so I keep it at 48 hours. And then the next day, I'll like remind them again how to earn points. And oh, and I keep it organized in the chat who's earned points, because then all I have to do is go back through the chat to see who earned how many points. I put everybody's name on a wheel through like wheelofnames.com. And so that way I don't have to write it down. You could if you want, but I just do it all in the chat. So every time somebody earns points for something, I post it in the chat. And I like to kind of post it with some sort of pictures. I have a couple of graphics that I made, like, thank you for booking a party, or thank you for joining my VIP, because then when I'm scrolling back through the chat to tally up points, I see those pictures, right? I know what I'm looking for. So it's really quick for me to like tally up the points really quickly. When people shop, I ask them to screenshot their order and share it to the chat as proof for the giveaway. And I do that for a couple of different reasons. First off, I want to make sure it gets linked to my host. I want to make sure it went to my website. And also, sometimes people miss like that final submit order button. They might think they ordered, but they ended up not hitting that final button. So I kind of like it for that reason too. If they don't see that order confirmation, you know, but also it makes other people start getting FOMO. And when people do shop, I'll share a little bit about what they did buy. I'll post pictures of it, testimonials, or whatever about what people actually are buying. And so then after it's all ended that night, I just thank the host. Thank you for, putting this on. I hope you had fun. And I actually also always, I forgot to mention this, and I'll add it into the notes in my hostess coaching. I also like to reach out to my host before the event is starting, maybe the day before. And I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know that you can join for however many dollars, depending on what deals are going or whatever. And I'll still run this event, but you'll earn all the commission. So hosts are a great person to reach out to about the business because they're people who are willing to have some fun, right? So don't be afraid to actually connect with them ahead of time and talk about that. And then the next day, I just remind people to catch up. I invite them to request a cart because we can do a share cart, right? You can make people their own cart. So let me know if you don't know how to do that. And then I also message everybody again. And I just say, hey, what really was catching your eye? I would love to build you a personalized cart. Is that something you would be interested in? If they didn't shop already. And actually, a lot of people will be like, yeah, actually, I would like you to do that. Because sometimes people get overwhelmed from the website, right? So reaching out and saying, I would love to build you a personalized cart goes a long way. And I always say, if you're open to it. I always get permission for everything before I send links, any of that. You guys know that. It goes a long way to making people just feel comfortable and not spammed, right? When I send a cart, I also let them know what deals it qualifies for. So, we always have deals going on. So I always keep an eye out for those. If it's a bundle, I'm like, this saves you 20% by getting this bundle. Or maybe if we have a free shipping deal or whatever, or like right now we have the L-carnitine you can get for free and a couple other ideas or things, the micellar water. I would let them know this is also going to get you your choice of the micellar water or the L-carnitine for free. So they know if they stay at that cart value, they're going to get freebies. But I let them know this is totally editable. You don't have to go with this, but let me know if I hit the mark. Right? So giving them permission to connect back if there's something they didn't like or whatever, they'll start talking to you about kind of more what they were looking for. But I do definitely once I say, are you interested in me building you a cart? I do ask them a couple questions to get information about what they're interested in. So I make sure it's tailored to them. So, and if you're not sure about that, just let me know. Okay. And then when they do order, I thank them and I send them information they'll need to know about what they ordered. So for example, if it's Clio, I'm going to share tips about application and removal, and I send them my learning link, where they can just scroll and learn, right? If it's pharmacy, I'm going to talk about best way to use whatever they bought, right? And then don't forget to add them to your follow-up tracker list, right? So you can connect back, you can follow up with them, make sure they're happy, see if they had any questions, and you just don't forget to keep reconnecting with those people. Okay. And then we're down to the final day. I just do a last call in the chat, let people know it's your last chance to shop. I'll show another sneak peek about the giveaway. That'll reinforce the urgency, and I'll kind of send several messages leading up to the giveaway, like a midday, like last chance, whatever. Did you join my VIP? Did you book your event? You know, I'll kind of remind them about that kind of stuff. And then an hour before, I'm finishing up dinner. I'm going to do the giveaway in an hour. Are you ready? You know, 30 minutes before, we're almost there, guys, just to kind of build up that suspense. And then it kind of reminds people who have been struggling to go ahead and get in there and get their points in and get their orders in. And that's about it. So, like I said, once you have your template built up, which is the hardest part, you can keep reusing it. You can reuse it over and over, month after month, maybe with slight changes and slight differences. You can reuse the content that you made. So I really love this system. But I want to know what questions you guys have. And what are you guys thinking about it?
I really don't. Just send me the template and then I'll figure it out from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten notes for myself. So I'm gonna load it all tomorrow. That way I can have everything ready for you guys. I'm not subbing tomorrow. I'm taking tomorrow off so I can get caught up on my life. But I'll have that all for you guys tomorrow. Yeah. Are you guys down for this? Is everybody gonna try it out?
If I have it laid out in front of me, yeah, I will. I was laughing when you said I just give them dates to pick from. I'm like, yeah, because I always feel like an asshole when I'm like, no, I don't really want to have a party. But you know, we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, and I think that too, like just doing one with like first just your customers that you already have a relationship with or people that have already been interested, and then they see how fast and easy it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like, yeah, actually that was fun, that was fast, that was easy, you know?
I like the fact that it's in Messenger instead of a whole party page and all that stuff, because yeah, those get and they never go away.
I know, and it's so much work.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just the hard part is like making your template, but then you reuse it over and over and over, you know? Yeah. And I'm going to send them to you guys so you can have something to like start with, see what I'm doing and everything.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to try it. I'm so lost with doing media and I don't have patience to sit and putz around with stuff sometimes. So like for me, always in person is always best, but it might be something if I were like invited to one to see like how it's ran, I guess.
Okay.
I might have to start with that first before I even attempt. I've tried to use templates before with like creating media and stuff. And I start doing it and I get frustrated and then I'm like, okay, I'm done with this.
I'm going to do a pharmacy one this month. So I'll invite you guys if you're interested in that. Yeah. And I've got Clio ones booked right now too. So if anybody wants to see the Clio ones too, just let me know. But I wouldn't get too worried about your content being perfect. It could be you holding up a picture of the micellar water and you're telling what you love about it. I mean, it doesn't have to be videos, you know, it can be simple.
But I agree with you because I did the same thing. So I went and got one of those dot bracelets for my personal business card. So I just literally have to be like, hand me your phone and scan it.
That's
because
cool.
I was like, I'm not making graphics. It has the whole template. You just put all your information in, call it good. They can go right on your website and do whatever.
That's super cool. Does it give you their info too?
They can put their info in. Yeah. There's a place for them to do that.
That's cool.
It's just one of those little chip things that's in there, and it's waterproof, and I don't know how long it's going to last, but hopefully a long time. Because that way I ain't got to buy business cards.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. All right. Any other questions or anything you guys are worried about or want to talk about? Any wins you want to celebrate? We're almost to the end of the month.
Are you going to show everybody that baby? She's like, you can see the back of his head.
Oh,
No.
baby boy. So sweet. Aw. I love your nails
Grandma's
too.
proud.
You got pretty nails.
They're extra
Grandma's
grown
proud.
Pretty. Okay, my friend. All right, I gotta stop talking. I'm gonna head out. Let me know what questions you guys have. I'll have it all posted for you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Sounds
Bye.
good. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.